Welcome back to the Rescue Mission Podcast by City Vision University, where we bridge tradition and innovation. To help build that bridge, Season 1 of our podcast is focused on the history and values of rescue missions, while Season 2 is focused primarily on innovations and best practices relevant to rescue missions. You can find the show notes for this episode and subscribe to our newsletter at rescuemissions.cityvision.edu.
There's something incredibly powerful about getting a high school diploma or its equivalent, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely.
It feels like more than just a credential. It's a key,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. A key.
A key that can truly unlock potential, open doors to new opportunities, and profoundly change the trajectory of someone's life.
Absolutely. And what's truly fascinating, when we look at certain populations, is the recognition that addressing fundamental educational gaps isn't just an optional add-on service.
Right.
It's a critical foundational component of holistic recovery and stabilization for individuals facing immense challenges.
Exactly. Now, picture getting that key not in a traditional school setting as a teenager, but later in life, when you're actively navigating complex and often overwhelming obstacles like homelessness, addiction, or deep poverty.
Mm-hmm.
That's precisely where our deep dive takes us today. We're stepping into the vital world of adult basic education, or ABE, and high school equivalency, HSE, programs. But our focus isn't on general adult education. We're looking specifically at how these programs are conceived, delivered, and integrated within gospel rescue missions and similar social service organizations that serve this vulnerable population.
Got it. And our guide for this specific exploration is a comprehensive report.
Right.
This report analyzed publicly available information gathered from a variety of these missions across the country. Its aim was to detail how they approach foundational education for the adults they serve, trying to pull back the curtain on the specifics, not just that they offer education, but how they do it.
So our mission in this deep dive is to really unpack this report. We want to extract the most crucial insights, going beyond just summarizing findings. What types of ABE and HSE programs are these missions actually putting into practice? How are they structuring and delivering instruction? What specific tools, what technologies, what partnerships are they leveraging, and what difference are they making?
And the challenges, too.
And just as importantly, what are the inherent challenges they face in providing education to this population? And what can we learn from the approaches that seem to be showing promise based on the available information? We're aiming to give you a direct shortcut to understanding this vital, yet often less visible, area of transformative work within social services.
Okay, let's unpack this. The report starts by underscoring the fundamental why. Why is education, specifically ABE and HSE, so critical for individuals experiencing homelessness, addiction, and poverty?
Yeah, the why is huge here.
It goes beyond the obvious academic benefits. ABE focuses on building those foundational skills, literacy, numeracy, while HSE programs prepare individuals for credentials like the GED or HiSET.
Right.
For someone grappling with these deep, entrenched cycles of hardship, attaining these skills and credentials can be a truly powerful catalyst.
And we're not just talking about getting a better job, although that's a massive part of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Huge. But it's more.
It's about breaking down barriers that have kept them trapped. Lack of basic skills or a high school credential is a direct impediment to meaningful employment and vocational training opportunities.
Totally.
But achieving these educational milestones also fosters a profound sense of self-sufficiency, of personal agency. It says, I can learn, I can improve my circumstances, I can achieve something significant.
Exactly. The impact resonates deeply on a personal level. It contributes significantly to improved self-esteem, enhances critical thinking skills necessary for navigating life's complexities, and can even lead to greater engagement with their community. Seattle's Union Gospel Mission articulates this connection very clearly. They state that education empowers men and women with the skills they need to break free from homelessness.
Wow.
That's a powerful declaration, directly linking educational attainment to liberation from their current circumstances. It positions education not as supplementary support, but as a core tool for fundamental change.
That phrasing from Seattle's UGM is really impactful, break free.
It is, isn't it?
It shows a deep understanding that education is part of escaping those cycles. Now, the report identified an interesting, almost paradoxical pattern across the missions it reviewed. There's a near universal recognition of the necessity of educational support.
Right. Everyone seems to agree it's needed.
Many missions broadly list education, educational services, or GED services as part of their offerings on their websites. This widespread acknowledgement is significant. It tells us that across the network, there's a collective understanding that educational deficits are major barriers for the people they serve.
But here's where the nuance and perhaps a key insight from the report emerges. While the necessity is widely acknowledged, the depth and clarity with which these programs are described publicly vary enormously.
How so?
Many missions simply state they offer education or GED services without providing details on curriculum, instructional methods, or specific resources, just a line item almost.
Yeah.
In stark contrast, missions that have invested in dedicated learning centers or formalized partnerships with external educational institutions tend to provide much more granular, detailed information about their program structures, the resources they use, and their pedagogical approaches.
Ah, I see. So what does that discrepancy reveal? It's more than just a difference in how they communicate, right?
Well, it probably is partly communication, but it likely suggests varying levels of program formalization too.
Makes sense.
Missions with less detail might have more informal, perhaps volunteer-led tutoring,
Right.
or simply referral-based services. We can point you towards a GED class.
Gotcha.
Missions with dedicated centers and partnerships likely have more structured curricula, dedicated staff time, and established processes, which makes them easier to describe publicly in detail.
But the critical insight here, as you mentioned, is that this public lack of detail, even among missions that do offer education, makes it incredibly challenging for other organizations looking to learn from them, to replicate successful models, or to even understand the landscape of what's actually happening in the field.
It highlights a potential need for greater transparency and maybe, more shared documentation across this sector.
Yeah, because how can you build on success if you don't know the specifics?
That's a crucial point. Without more detailed information readily available, it's difficult to identify specific strategies, assess their potential effectiveness based on approach, or tailor programs to address the unique challenges of this population. It's hard to build collective best practices when the specifics are hidden.
And the goal of this particular report was to try and bridge that gap, right?
Right.
To dig into the details that were publicly available for a selection of gospel rescue missions, looking for specifics like the software they use, their teaching methods, the specific educational materials, assessment strategies, and testing instruments employed.
Trying to get past the surface-level description.
Precisely. The ultimate aim wasn't just to catalog what's offered, but to distill replicable best practices, specifically from those missions that did provide more detailed information.
Right.
The hope is that these identified practices can serve as a practical guide for other organizations, missions, or similar social services that are looking to either establish new educational initiatives or significantly enhance their existing ones.
It's like trying to reverse engineer what makes a program effective by looking closely at the components they do share.
Yeah, exactly.
However, it's vital to remember, as the report clearly acknowledges, a key limitation. This analysis was based solely on publicly accessible online information websites, linked documents, program brochures found online.
That's a crucial caveat. It means the report couldn't capture everything happening on the ground, especially at missions that might have robust, effective programs, but simply don't detail them extensively on their public websites.
Absolutely. What you see online isn't always the full picture.
The analysis relied purely on the systematic review of that online content. So the depth of information available in the report directly correlates to how much each mission chose to share publicly.
Exactly. It provides a snapshot based on digital visibility, which isn't always a full picture of operational reality.
Okay, so keeping that limitation in mind, but armed with the information the report did find, let's look at where education is actually happening within these missions.
Right.
The report confirmed that a significant number explicitly offer ABE or HSE programs. We're talking about organizations like Denver Rescue Mission, Union Rescue Mission in LA, City Team, Phoenix Rescue Mission, Open Door Mission in Omaha, Star of Hope Mission, Long Beach Rescue Mission, and Atlanta Mission, among others listed.
So quite a few across the country.
That list alone shows that providing educational support is a recognized need and is being addressed across many different geographic locations and varying sizes of missions.
Yes, it confirms the widespread commitment. But a particularly important finding the report emphasizes is that these educational programs are typically not standalone services.
Okay, that's interesting. How so?
They are deeply interwoven into the broader ecosystem of services. The mission provides recovery programs, life skills development, vocational training, housing support.
Right. They're not saying, here's shelter, and oh, by the way, there's also some education down the hall. It's integrated into the path to stability.
Precisely. The Fort Collins Rescue Mission, for instance, integrates GED attainment directly into its structured New Life program, which is focused on recovery and life change.
Makes sense.
Union Rescue Mission LA's Learning Center is made available specifically to men and women who are actively participating in their residential recovery programs.
So it's part of the package.
Yes. And Phoenix Rescue Mission introduces GED or diploma work fairly early during the foundations phase of recovery, linking it directly to their mental health and substance use treatment components.
Wow, okay, so right in there with core recovery work.
In Isaiah House, a faith-based addiction treatment center that operates similarly to a mission in this context, places educational components in later phases of recovery when individuals are focusing more on reacclimation to society and personal transformation.
Different timing, but still integrated.
Exactly. And Star of Hope Mission in Houston has a notable prerequisite for their GED program. Participants must first complete a 30-day new pathway program focused on initial stabilization and orientation before they can even begin GED studies.
So stability first, then academics.
That seems to be the logic. This deliberate integration is a powerful model and a key insight from the report. It strongly suggests a deep understanding that educational progress is not only supported by the stability and structure of recovery programs,
Right.
but that achieving educational milestones also contributes back to the stability and growth of the individual.
How does that work?
Well, addressing underlying issues like substance abuse, trauma, or mental health creates a better environment for learning by reducing distractions and increasing cognitive capacity. Makes sense, right?
Right, totally. Hard to focus on math when you're dealing with so much else.
Exactly. Conversely, the sense of accomplishment from mastering a new skill or passing a practice test can significantly boost self-esteem, build confidence, and reinforce the positive changes happening in other areas of their lives, thereby strengthening their recovery journey itself.
Ah, a positive feedback loop.
Precisely. This model truly addresses the whole person, recognizing that academic progress is intertwined with personal well-being.
That makes incredible sense. You need a certain foundation of safety and stability to even be able to focus on learning, and then learning provides the tools and confidence to maintain that stability long term. This integrated approach seems fundamental to success with this population.
And some missions have really leaned into this commitment by investing in dedicated physical spaces for learning.
Oh, yeah.
The report highlights missions that have established specific learning centers or educational departments. Examples include the Union Rescue Mission LA Learning Center, Open Door Mission Learning Center, Orange County Rescue Mission Success Center, and Long Beach Rescue Mission's separate learning centers for men and women.
What does the presence of these dedicated spaces signify? It's more than just having a room with some books, right?
Absolutely. It signifies a significant, concrete commitment to education. It means providing the necessary physical infrastructure, actual classrooms, computer labs with reliable equipment.
Resources.
Tangible resources, yes.
Yeah.
And often implies having dedicated staff or a structured system for coordinating volunteers specifically for educational support. It's putting resources and priority behind the recognition of education's importance within their overall mission.
It's also fascinating how often ABE and HSC attainment are explicitly linked to workforce development. The report mentions this connection frequently.
Makes sense. A practical outcome.
Think about City Team at Work programs, which explicitly include achieving high school equivalency as part of job readiness. Phoenix Rescue Mission has a dedicated workforce development program that builds on educational foundations. City Union Mission has its Mission Works initiative, and Isaiah House has a distinct education and workforce development program component.
This connection underscores the intensely practical application of education in this context. For many individuals experiencing homelessness or poverty, getting a GED or improving literacy isn't just about personal growth.
Although that's important too.
Absolutely. But it's also a direct pathway to overcoming employment barriers, accessing vocational training, and ultimately achieving financial stability, which is crucial for long-term self-sufficiency and escaping the cycles of hardship. It frames education as a necessary step towards a sustainable future.
Now, when we talk about high school equivalency tests specifically, the report notes that the most commonly mentioned test for preparation across the reviewed missions is overwhelmingly the GED.
Yes, the GED is referenced repeatedly. Many missions explicitly mention offering GED prep or GED classes.
Like who?
Union Rescue Mission LA, Seattle's UGM, Phoenix Rescue Mission, Star of Hope Mission, Battery Mission, Atlanta Mission, Nashville Rescue Mission. They all specifically named the GED in the materials the report reviewed.
Okay, so that's the big one. But the HiSET test is also mentioned, though less frequently in the sources analyzed.
Correct. City Union Mission in Kansas City, Nashville Rescue Mission, and Long Beach Rescue Mission mention HiSET as well.
And some use broader terms.
Yeah, some use the broader term high school equivalency or refer to helping clients with high school diploma attainment, which, depending on the state or specific program model, could involve different pathways or testing options.
So why the GED dominance in the report, do you think? Just recognition?
The prevalence of the GED in the report likely reflects a few factors. It's been the dominant national test for longer and is perhaps more widely recognized by the public and potential students.
Familiarity.
Right. However, the choice between GED and HiSET for a mission often depends heavily on what is accepted by the state they operate in and the local availability and accessibility of official testing centers for each exam.
Practical state-level stuff.
Exactly. It's a practical decision influenced by the external environment, not just internal preference.
Okay, so we've explored why education is crucial and where it's being integrated within these missions. Let's delve into how the instructional approaches and support structures they're using. What methods did the report identify for delivering education?
The report highlights several key instructional methods. One very common and valuable approach is one-on-one tutoring.
Personalized help.
Yes, this offers highly individualized instruction and often relies significantly on volunteer power.
That personalization must be incredibly beneficial for learners who have significant educational gaps, or who've maybe experienced trauma that makes traditional classroom settings difficult, or who simply learn at very different paces.
Totally.
Having a dedicated tutor tailored to their specific needs seems vital.
It is. The value of that personalized attention cannot be overstated for this population. The report gives examples like City Union Mission utilizing both staff and volunteers for tutoring. The Bowery Mission specifically highlights the importance of having qualified volunteer tutors.
Qualified.
Yeah.
That matters.
Nashville Rescue Mission shared an example of a retired teacher volunteering her time and expertise. Miracle Hill Ministries, through its robust partnership with Greenville Literacy Association, facilitates one-on-one tutoring sessions right at the mission site.
Bringing it to them.
And Long Beach Rescue Mission emphasizes personalized one-on-one sessions as a core component. While incredibly effective, this model implicitly requires a robust volunteer management system or dedicated staff capacity to recruit, train, and support those tutors consistently.
Yeah, you need to manage the volunteers effectively. Then there's the more traditional approach, classroom-based instruction.
Yes, this method is particularly prominent in missions that have dedicated learning centers or strong partnerships with formal educational institutions.
Like the ones you mentioned earlier.
Right. Union Rescue Mission LA, through its partnership with LAUSD's Belmont Adult Day School, has access to credentialed instructors who teach in a classroom setting. Star of Hope Mission in Houston has structured classes for core subjects, including reading, math, computer education, and even spiritual development integrated into their program phases.
Wow, quite structured.
Milwaukee Rescue Mission and Atlanta Mission also reference instructor-led classes. This approach offers the benefits of a set curriculum, peer interaction, and potentially instruction from credentialed or experienced educators, providing a more formal learning environment.
And increasingly important in today's world, leveraging technology through self-paced or online learning.
Absolutely. The report notes that missions are incorporating technology to offer flexibility, which is crucial for adults who are balancing recovery schedules, work, and other life challenges.
Yeah, life gets complicated.
It does. Union Rescue Mission LA has computer terminals available in their learning center for self-paced work. Seattle's UGM mentions utilizing automated online courses, and while not a direct mission program, the report points to Ames Community College near Fort Collins, offering self-paced online GED study as an example of how community resources can provide this option.
So, using what's available locally, too.
Exactly. This method is also essential preparation for the computer-based format of the GED and HiSET tests themselves.
Good point.
However, its success relies entirely on clients having consistent access to technology and foundational digital literacy skills. Can't use the tools if you don't know how.
Which brings us to something you flagged earlier, partnerships and collaborations. The report explicitly calls this a cornerstone of enhanced service delivery and a highly efficient and effective strategy.
Yes, this is perhaps the most impactful finding for replicability. Missions are realizing they don't have to build everything from scratch.
They can focus on their strengths.
Exactly. Missions typically excel at providing shelter, meals, recovery support, and life skills. They aren't inherently structured or funded to be formal educational institutions. By partnering with existing educational providers, they gain immediate access to expertise, established curricula, accreditation, and often resources they wouldn't otherwise have.
It's smart, like a shortcut to quality education.
It really is. It's a way to offer high-quality education without needing to become a school themselves.
Like Union Rescue Mission, LA's deep partnership with LAUSD's Belmont Adult Day School. That's a prime example, right?
A very strong example. It gives them access to credentialed teachers, but also established pathways and online platforms LAUSD uses, such as Apex Learning for HiSET and high school diploma courses.
Wow.
Schoology, which integrates test prep and resources like Khan Academy, and even National Geographic Learning for career technical education content.
So they get the whole package through the partner.
Pretty much. And community colleges are proving to be indispensable partners, too.
How?
Long Beach Rescue Mission partners with Long Beach City College.
Yeah.
Not just for educational content like ESL classes, but also assisting clients with navigating the college system, like applying for free courses and utilizing LBCC's online Canvas platform for GED Find Set Trep.
Helping with the bureaucracy, too.
Yes. Isaiah House in Kentucky partners with multiple local colleges, allowing residents to take not just GED classes, but even college courses in vocational training.
Like actual college courses.
Yes, and even offering on-site welding certification programs facilitated through a college partnership. Ames Community College near Fort Collins is highlighted as a resource that offers low-cost, self-paced GED preparation, which the mission can refer clients to.
So using community colleges in various ways, literacy organizations are another incredibly natural fit for partnerships. Miracle Hill Ministries in South Carolina partners with the Greenville Literacy Association.
Yes, and that partnership is a fantastic model. Greenville Literacy literally brings their established GED and WorkKeys programming to the mission site.
That's huge, makes it accessible.
Totally. They utilize a suite of proven resources like ProLiteracy, North Star Digital Literacy, which is critical for basic computer skills.
We'll come back to that.
WN Career Readiness, Coursera, Kaplan Books, USA Learns, and Engine. This allows Miracle Hill to offer robust professional education programs by leveraging the expertise and resources of a dedicated literacy provider.
Isaiah House also demonstrates the power of broad collaboration, listing partnerships with various nonprofits and agencies like Goodwill, local adult education offices, and workforce boards.
This network approach is highly effective. It allows missions to concentrate on their core competencies while relying on partners for specialized educational delivery.
Makes total sense.
It provides access to recognized credentials and leverages external funding streams and expertise. This model, leveraging strategic partnerships, emerges as a key best practice for missions looking to maximize their educational impact without overextending their own resources.
And underpinning many of these approaches, especially the one-on-one tutoring and often supporting classroom instruction, is volunteer involvement.
Crucial and often indispensable. Volunteers extend the capacity of the often lean mission staff.
The human touch.
Exactly. They provide that vital personalized attention, support classroom activities, and bring diverse skills and a compassionate presence. Examples from the report include Denver RM utilizing volunteers for job skills training, which often requires foundational education, City Union Mission relying on staff and volunteers for tutoring, Bowery Mission emphasizing qualified volunteer tutors, and Nashville RM's example of the dedicated retired teacher.
So volunteers are key, but need structure.
Absolutely. Volunteer coordination, training, and retention are implicitly vital for the success of these models.
It really highlights that while external partnerships bring structure and curriculum, volunteers bring the human touch and capacity.
Exactly. The report also points to the importance of individualized learning pathways.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Missions with more formalized programs often utilize assessment tools to create individual learning plans, ILPs, or otherwise customize the learning experience. This shows a level of sophistication tailored to the unique needs of adult learners.
Like at Union Rescue Mission LA, where LAUSD instructors help students develop those ILPs.
Correct. Or City Union Mission, which explicitly states they use the CASIS assessment result to create customized learning plans for each student. Even the Ames Community College model mentioned near Fort Collins uses practice test results to inform an individual study plan.
Why is this customization so important?
This approach is absolutely essential for this population. Adults entering mission programs often come from highly diverse educational backgrounds with significant and varied learning gaps, potentially years out of school, and often dealing with the lingering effects of trauma, instability, or learning disabilities that were never addressed.
A lot to overcome.
A huge amount. A standard, one-size-fits-all curriculum simply won't meet these varied needs effectively.
Right.
Using initial assessments, like KISS or TAVE or practice tests, is fundamental. It provides a data-informed starting point, allowing instructors or tutors to pinpoint specific areas where a student needs the most help and create a tailored roadmap, the ILP.
So it respects their journey.
Precisely. This approach respects each learner's unique starting point, maximizes efficiency by targeting resources, and builds confidence by focusing on achievable steps. It's a significant best practice for engaging and retaining adult learners who may have had negative experiences with education in the past.
So they're assessed, they get a plan, and then they use various methods, tutoring, class, online, often facilitated by partners or volunteers.
Precisely. It's a layered, individualized approach.
Okay, let's get even more specific about the tools of the trade. The resources and technologies these missions are employing based on the report. There's a clear trend towards leveraging digital tools.
Yes, technology is no longer optional. It's central to both delivery and assessment in many cases.
How so? What kind of tools?
For managing learning, we see mentions of learning management systems or platforms used by partners, like Canvas through the Long Beach City College Partnership or Schoology, used by LAUSD with Union Rescue Mission LA. These platforms help organize content, deliver lessons, and track student progress.
And for the actual content and skill building, there's a range. Union Rescue Mission LA offers Microsoft Office Suite or MOS certification prep,
which is incredibly practical.
Yeah, job-relevant digital skills training right there.
It provides a recognized credential in essential workplace software. LAUSD's partnership also brings specific curriculum platforms like Apex Learning for high school equivalency and diploma courses, and National Geographic Learning for career technical education, which can include interactive content and even auto-graded exercises, freeing up instructor time.
And a major focus, which is an insight in itself, is on foundational digital literacy. You mentioned this earlier.
Yes, super important. Open Door Mission in Omaha uses Google's free Applied Digital Skills curriculum. Greenville Literacy, the partner for Miracle Hill, uses North Star Digital Literacy.
Why is this foundational piece so critical?
This is critically important because, as we mentioned, HSE tests are often computer-based. But beyond that, think about it: navigating job applications, accessing resources online, managing finances. So much of life requires basic computer and internet skills now.
True. Everything's online.
Many individuals coming into missions lack these fundamentals. Providing explicit training in digital literacy before or alongside academic skills is essential. It's not a luxury. It's a necessary prerequisite for successful participation in online learning, taking computer-based tests, and securing most jobs.
Yeah, you can't skip that step.
Phoenix RM helping clients apply for benefits online is a simple but powerful example of why this practical digital literacy is needed.
They're also using widely available free resources like Khan Academy, sometimes integrated through their partners or used directly by tutors.
Yes, leveraging free, high-quality content is key, especially with limited budgets.
Smart use of resources.
And consistent access to computers and reliable internet, usually facilitated through dedicated computer labs like the ones at Union Rescue Mission LA.
That big multimedia facility you mentioned?
Yeah, 30 terminals. Or Long Beach RM with 2 learning centers with computers, or Isaiah House's computer lab. This is a recurring necessity highlighted by the report. These physical spaces provide the environment and technology required for digital learning and practice.
Okay, let's talk about assessment tools beyond just the initial placement ones we mentioned with ILPs. Knowing where students stand and if they're ready for the official test is crucial.
Absolutely. Systematic assessment throughout the learning process is fundamental. For initial placement or diagnostic purposes in ADE, tools like CASES are used by City Union Mission to create those customized plans, providing structured, data-informed insights into skill levels.
And TABE, Star of Hope, uses that.
Yes, TABES is used by Star of Hope Mission, notably requiring minimum scores for program admission.
So TABE there acts almost like a filter or readiness check before they invest resources in full HSE prep.
Precisely. It aims to ensure students have a baseline skill level to handle the rigor of HSE study. While this might require missions to offer pre-HSE or ABE programs for those who don't meet the minimum, it targets resources effectively. Both CASAS and TABE provide objective data points to understand a student's starting skills.
And then specifically for HSE readiness, the practice tests are vital.
Indispensable. The GED Ready is the official practice test from GEDTF.
The official one.
Yes, it simulates the real test, provides a score report with predicted results, likely to pass, etc., and offers a personalized study plan based on performance.
While it has a cost, I think around $8 per subject.
Okay, not free.
Not free, but its value in giving a realistic gauge of readiness and focusing study efforts is immense.
And the HiSET program also offers various practice test options.
Yes, including free downloadable PDFs and free computer-based versions, which improves accessibility. Some states may even require passing an official practice test, OPT, before a candidate can register for the actual HiSET exam. The report also notes the use of career assessments, though not always specifying which ones, like at Phoenix RM.
Right, connecting to work goals.
And credentialing assessments like the ACT Work Keys NCRC, used by Open Door Mission, and facilitated through Miracle Hill's partnership with Greenville Literacy.
These assessments link the educational goals directly to employment aspirations and provide valuable, evidence-based workplace credentials that employers recognize.
So the whole assessment process is key.
Absolutely. The systematic use of assessments from initial diagnostic testing like CASASTABE to progress monitoring and readiness prediction with practice tests is fundamental for targeting instruction, tracking student growth, demonstrating program outcomes, and ensuring students are prepared for the official exam and future employment. Utilizing the official or aligned practice tests for GED and HiSET is a vital step for realistic readiness prediction.
Beyond software and tests, traditional curriculum materials are still in play, like the Kaplan GED test prep book mentioned by Greenville Literacy's partner.
Right. Print materials still matter.
And general mentions of missions providing study materials.
Yes, a blended approach often involves both digital and print resources. And as we covered, the physical infrastructure, dedicated learning centers, classrooms, reliable computer access provides the necessary environment and technology for these tools and materials to be used effectively.
So, bringing all these observations together, what are the big emerging best practices identified in this report that other missions or organizations could look at replicating or adapting?
Okay, pulling it together. The report synthesizes the findings into several key actionable best practices. First, and perhaps most critical for this population, is holistic integration.
The embedding piece.
Exactly. Embedding education deeply within recovery, life stabilization, and overall residential programs. Examples like Phoenix RM starting GED work early in recovery, or Isaiah House phasing educational components into later transformation stages show this is deliberate and strategic. It acknowledges that learning thrives when stability is addressed.
Makes sense. What's next? Second, strategic partnerships. Leveraging external expertise from local school districts, community colleges, and literacy organizations is crucial. Missions don't have to be expert educators themselves.
Don't reinvent the wheel.
Precisely. The Union Rescue LLAUSD partnership and Miracle Hill Greenville Literacy collaboration are prime examples of accessing credentialed instruction, curriculum, and resources efficiently.
Okay.
Third, individualized learning pathways. Using assessments like CASAS or TABE to create tailored individual learning plans. This recognizes the diverse educational backgrounds and specific needs of adult learners, ensuring instruction is targeted and efficient, as demonstrated by City Union Mission and Union Rescue LA.
Personalized roadmaps. Got it.
Fourth, implementing blended learning approaches, combining different instructional methods like one-on-one tutoring, classroom instruction, and self-paced online learning. This caters to different learning styles and leverages the strengths of various delivery methods. Milwaukee RM's mix of approaches is an example.
Fifth has to be digital literacy, right? You got it. Fifth, and non-negotiable in today's world, is providing foundational digital literacy training, explicit instruction in basic computer skills, online navigation, and using essential software. Using resources like Google Applied Digital Skills or North Star is a critical prerequisite for success with computer-based tests and online learning platforms. Sixth, though often implicit in the successful models, is robust volunteer management. If a program relies on volunteers for tutoring or support, having strong systems for recruitment, training, and ongoing support is essential for consistency and quality.
Right, support the supporters. Seventh,
connecting education to career pathways. Actively linking HSE attainment to vocational training, job readiness programs, and valuable certifications like Microsoft Office Suite or ACT Work Keys. Examples like Union Rescue LA's MOS certification or Isaiah House's on-site welding training show how education is directly tied to employment and financial stability.
Making it practical. Number 8,
Eighth, providing dedicated learning environments. Having specific physical spaces like learning centers or well-equipped computer labs signals the importance of education and provides the necessary infrastructure away from the distractions of a shelter environment.
A dedicated space matters. And the last one.
And ninth, and this is really key for fostering long-term change, facilitating soft transitions to further education or career, going beyond just helping someone get the HSE credential.
Thinking beyond the test.
Exactly. Actively assisting them with applying for college or vocational school, securing financial aid, or connecting directly to employers. Examples like Seattle UGM helping clients apply to universities, or Long Beach RM assisting with trade school applications highlight this crucial step towards sustainable self-sufficiency.
That's a comprehensive picture of what effective programs are doing. But the report also highlights the challenges inherent in this work and gaps in the public information available. What are those challenges?
Yeah, it's not all smooth sailing. A significant challenge is the pervasive lack of specificity in publicly available information.
We talked about that earlier.
Right. As we discussed, many missions simply state they offer education, without detailing how it's done, the curriculum, specific software, assessment tools, or teaching methods. This makes it very difficult for other organizations to learn from their approaches, replicate successful strategies, or even understand the landscape of available resources and methods being used across the network.
It hinders knowledge sharing?
Definitely. It hinders knowledge sharing and collective improvement.
So it's hard to move from they offer GED to this is how they achieve a high pass rate using these specific tools and partnerships?
Exactly. Another major challenge is the inherent variability in resources across missions. Capacity differs significantly based on mission size, funding levels, geographic location, and the strength of local partnerships.
Not everyone has LAUSD next door.
Right. A robust, well-equipped learning center relying on extensive partnerships might be a model of effectiveness, but it's not easily replicable for a smaller, rural mission with limited funding and fewer community resources nearby. A one-size-fits-all approach to implementing these best practices simply isn't realistic.
And the sustainability of volunteer-reliant models, while valuable, can be a challenge if not managed well.
Absolutely. Consistency in instruction, ensuring volunteers are adequately trained for teaching basic skills or using specific curricula, and having backup plans when volunteers are unavailable are crucial for maintaining program quality. Without strong management, the learning experience can be inconsistent for clients.
Yeah, reliability is key.
And critically, addressing multiple barriers. Clients and missions are often facing a constellation of complex co-occurring issues, simultaneously substance use disorders, mental health conditions, physical health problems, histories of trauma, housing instability, lack of transportation, childcare needs.
It's a lot.
It's a huge amount. Educational programs must be flexible, supportive, and deeply integrated within the mission's overall care system to help clients navigate these significant obstacles while trying to focus on learning. The phased approach seen at places like Star of Hope and Isaiah House acknowledges that foundational stability is often a prerequisite before rigorous academic study can be fully undertaken.
Meeting people where they are.
Essentially, yes.
And finally, the report noted a significant gap in publicly available data on outcomes.
Yes. While missions often report on overall program success, indicators like clients achieving self-sufficiency, Orange County RM mentions an 85% rate for their general program, for example.
Okay.
Specific measurable educational outcome data, such as the percentage of participants who obtain their GED ISET, subsequent enrollment in vocational training or college, or post-education employment rates specifically tied to program participation, were often missing from the public information analyzed.
So, hard to know exactly how effective the education piece itself is.
It makes it difficult to empirically assess the effectiveness of specific program models, instructional methods, or resource utilization across the missions. Without this data, it's harder to identify which specific approaches yield the best results for this population and to demonstrate the precise impact of educational programming to potential funders.
Which is crucial for getting more resources. So, drawing on both these best practices and the challenges, what are the key actionable recommendations for missions looking to implement or enhance their ABE HSE programs based on the insights from this report?
Okay, actionable steps. The report synthesizes the findings into concrete recommendations. First and foremost, conduct a thorough needs assessment for your clients. Don't guess.
Data first.
Yes. Use reliable assessment tools like TABE or CASAS right at intake or program entry to truly understand your client's current educational levels, their specific learning gaps, and their personal goals. This data should drive your program design.
Second, prioritize strategic partnerships.
Cannot stress this enough. Seriously explore collaborating with local educational providers, adult education centers, community colleges, public libraries with adult learning resources, and dedicated literacy organizations. As the report showed, leveraging their expertise, accreditation, and resources is far more efficient than trying to build a full educational program from scratch.
Don't go it alone.
Exactly. Access to credentialed instructors and established curricula through partnerships is a game changer.
Third,
develop individualized learning plans, ILPs, based on those assessments and client goals. Create tailored roadmaps for each student, recognizing their unique starting point and targeting instruction where it's most needed. This is crucial for engaging and retaining adult learners with diverse needs.
tailor the approach.
Fourth, invest in a blended learning environment. If possible, create a dedicated physical space, a learning center or quiet study area with reliable computer access. Then mix instructional methods, combine one-on-one tutoring, potentially volunteer-led, with access to structured online learning platforms.
like Khan Academy or partner platforms.
Yes, Khan Academy, Google Applied Digital Skills, or resources provided through educational partners like Apex or Schoology if available, and potentially small group or classroom instruction if feasible. This caters to different learning preferences and paces.
Fifth, the digital piece again.
Yes, fifth, and this is critical given the current testing and job market, integrate foundational digital literacy. Explicitly teach basic computer skills, internet navigation, email, and perhaps even basic typing and using common software like word processors. Resources like Google Applied Digital Skills or North Star Digital Literacy provide structured pathways for this. It's a necessary prerequisite.
Okay. Sixth,
select appropriate HSE resources. Don't just grab any study guide. Use official or closely aligned test preparation materials and practice tests, like the Kaplan GED test prep books or the official GED Ready and Haseeb Practice test.
use the right tools for the test.
Right. These are designed to match the actual exams and provide realistic readiness indicators, helping students study effectively for the test they will actually take.
Seventh, volunteers.
Yes. Seventh, if you rely on volunteers, build a strong volunteer program. Invest time and resources in recruiting volunteers with relevant skills or a willingness to be trained, providing them with orientation, training on the curriculum, and working with the client population, and offering ongoing support. Consistency in volunteer presence and capability is vital for student progress.
Support them well. Eighth,
Connect education to career pathways. Actively link the ABHSE goals to vocational training options, job readiness workshops, and opportunities to earn workplace certifications like MOS or WorkKeys NCRC. Frame the educational journey as a direct path to employment and financial stability.
keep the end goal in sight.
Ninth, foster a supportive learning culture. Create an environment that is encouraging, patient, flexible, and trauma-informed. Celebrate progress, no matter how small, and acknowledge the significant barriers clients are overcoming just by showing up. Building confidence is key.
Crucial. And the last recommendation, data again.
Yes, finally, track outcomes and continuously improve. Implement systems to collect specific data on educational progress. Use assessment tools like CASLOS or TABE to measure skill gains over time. Track completion of learning modules or practice tests. And importantly, track the number of clients who attain their GED or HiSET, and where possible, their subsequent transition to further education, vocational training, or employment.
Close the loop.
Exactly. This data is crucial for refining programs, demonstrating effectiveness to stakeholders and funders, and ensuring the program is truly making a difference in clients' lives. Implementing a simple data management system or utilizing features within educational software can facilitate this.
That's a solid set of recommendations based on the report.
If we connect all of this to the bigger picture, empowering individuals experiencing homelessness, addiction, and poverty through education within the supportive, integrated framework that missions provide is fundamentally about restoring dignity, agency, and potential. It's not just about getting a piece of paper. It transforms not just individual lives by equipping them with the tools for self-sufficiency, but it also contributes to healthier, more resilient communities by enabling people to become contributing and engaged members.
It really underscores that while providing the immediate necessities of shelter and meals is absolutely a critical first step, true lasting transformation often happens when you empower someone with the skills and knowledge they need to rebuild their own life from the ground up.
Well said.
Missions that are effectively integrating and prioritizing education are playing an indispensable role in laying that crucial foundation. The report highlights how forward-thinking approaches focus on those soft transitions beyond the credential, actively helping clients move on to college, vocational training, or stable careers. That extra step seems vital for long-term sustainable change.
This raises an important question for all of us. How can we, as a community, better support these integrated models of care? How can we ensure the necessary resources, whether that's funding for dedicated staff, access to technology, or strengthening partnerships with educational providers, are available to make these crucial educational pathways even more robust and accessible for everyone who needs them?
Something significant to consider. We've taken a deep dive today into how gospel rescue missions and similar organizations are leveraging adult basic education and high school equivalency programs as powerful tools for transformation, extracting key insights from the report on their diverse approaches, the resources they employ, and the emerging best practices in this vital field.
And just as importantly, identifying the challenges they navigate in this complex work.
So consider the ripple effect of this work. How does investing in the education of just one individual navigating these immense challenges potentially impact their family, their immediate community, and ultimately society as a whole? What stands out to you from this deep dive into how missions are using education as a tool for transformation?
We hope you enjoy this episode and that it both inspires and equips you to serve the least, the last, and the lost in Jesus' name. You can find the show notes for this episode and subscribe to our newsletter at rescuemissions.cityvision.edu. If you would like to learn more about City Vision University's courses and degree programs, visit our website at www.cityvision.edu.